You are listening to an episode of The Faithful Sinners.
Welcome back, faithful sinners. My name is Timothy Baker, and on this episode of SINspiration, we're going to talk about earthly treasures and worldly challenges. But first, let me start with an adjustment that I'm making here to our SINspiration discussions. Instead of having a daily post, I am actually going to start the week with a topic and a related poll question that will be put out on Mondays. And then on Friday, we'll review how the week has gone with respect to the topic for the week and review the results of the poll question on Fridays. This will help me to have better topic focus along with it. It will allow us to provide more consistency and increase engagement, because part of what I would hope that you would want to do is participate in the poll discussions. These will be posted on YouTube for you to be able to like, follow, and answer poll questions that are posted. So if you're checking us out on other social platforms or other podcast platforms, make sure to check us out on YouTube, so that way you're able to follow along with the poll questions and participate as you desire. But this week, like I would had started off with, I'd like to discuss our eternal treasures and worldly challenges. So what treasures are you storing up, and what worldly challenges are you contending with this week? I'm going to start with the treasures and reference Matthew 6:19-21. Do not lay up treasures for yourself on earth, where moth and rust destroy and where thieves break in and steal, but lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust destroys and where thieves do not break in and steal. For where your treasure is, there your heart will also be. So my focus on the treasures is where I am aligning things spiritually. And the best way I can do that at this point is to try to be the best role model I can be for my children. And I am not perfect by any means, but I try to do my best every day. And I reflect on how I was the previous day at the end of each day, so that I can awake with a refreshed spirit and increased motivation to align my actions, my comments, my thoughts to the role model I would like my kids to be able to, I guess, model in their own lives as they get older. And unfortunately, sometimes our treasures get clouded by our worldly challenges. And why I put the focus on trying to be a better role model is because my worldly challenges consistently are causing me to really have to think through how I'm responding to things. My challenges this week are dealing with divorce and expenses, preparing for an upcoming camping trip with the church. And in order to keep costs down where I live, I support doing work around the property. And right now it's cutting down some trees on the property. So my challenges, have financial impacts. And financially, I'm doing the best I can. And the focus is doing what I can for the kids. That creates a challenge when it comes to retirement, because I am in my late 50s. Retirement is a concern, but it's not the concern that I can address at this point. because I need to get through this ridiculously high cost divorce that my ex-wife is driving. And in the meantime, trying to do the best I can to provide for my kids, even though tens of thousands of dollars are being burned up and wasted on attorney's fees that could have gone to help support those kids. But that's a choice my ex has made, and unfortunately, not one that she seems to want to reconsider. It's more important, apparently, to try to damage me as much as possible, regardless of how much it damages the kids. But I move forward and do what I can. And I am currently looking for work, so being out of work creates even more of a challenge when trying to provide for the kids, because ironically, the court seems to think that I should be paying more than I'm actually earning. That's simply physically not possible. So that will get addressed next week when we show back up in court. But in the meantime, I do what I can. The goal is to be there as a father for these children. And unlike many fathers who cut and run or don't pay their bills, I am here. I do way more than I am expected to. I provide support to my ex when she has overrun the schedules and there are conflicts and overlap. So I step in when I can. But financially, because of the choices that are being made, my options to support sometimes are going to be even more limited. But that's, outside of my control. So I do what I can. And the biggest is to be here for my kids. And maybe in the long run, they'll recognize where the challenges stem from. So my challenge to you this week would be to review your current treasures of life. Where are you storing up your treasures? Are they earthbound treasures, or are they eternally found treasures? And my poll question for everyone this week that will be posted on YouTube that you can place your answers is, where is your biggest challenge this week? Is it with family, finances, work, friendships or relationships, spiritual, or are they emotional? I look forward to seeing your responses and sharing those results on my post this upcoming Friday. In the meantime, thanks for watching, and please make sure to share, follow, and like on your favorite social media and podcast stations, and get this out to your friends and family so we can all sin better together.
Thank you for listening to this episode of The Faithful Sinners. Make sure to follow us and like us on your favorite podcast or social media site, and also check us out at thefaithfulsinners.com.